Hey there, people of the interwebs. My name is Brandon Noel. You're listening or watching a sketch cover video of FLATFOOT McGEE. Now, when I was originally filming this, I had accidentally set the microphone to the wrong settings. I had it set up for the wrong mic. So the original audio to that video is completely unusable. Can't even hear what I'm talking about. So now I'm having to dub over and re-record everything that I said originally. This is FLATFOOT McGEE. This is my own independent comic book. He is a duck detective. This is issue 1, which is a 48-page issue. Currently available at destinycomics.com or linked down below. It's if you're unfamiliar with FLATFOOT McGEE, he is a cartoon duck detective. Originally, I was doing more of like a Duck Tracy kind of thing, and parroting some of the classic detective comics, and riffing on some classic detective radios like Johnny Dollar or Richard Diamond, or those classic 1950s radio detectives. But with a very Looney Tunes kind of twist. FLATFOOT McGEE for me is kind of what if Tex Avery drew the Spirit, or what if Chuck Jones drew I don't want to say Dick Tracy again. But, that classic, detective, maybe Johnny Law or whatever, So, FLATFOOT McGEE is definitely inspired by, classic Warner Brothers animation, classic MGM animation, as well as those darker noir Warner Brothers gangster pictures from the 1950s, and it's a really fun book. This is the kind of thing that I would have read as a kid, or would have loved to have read as a kid. It's detectives and cartoons, and again, I was introduced to Toon World and Who Framed Roger Rabbit way too young, way too early. And this is the what happens when that kind of thing happens. The sketch covers. I'm actually really proud that I have my own sketch cover. My own indie book has its own sketch cover that I was able to do, and the inside is the actual comic, and I'm pretty pretty glad about it. We're going to be doing a Kickstarter later this year, and all the sketch covers are going to be a part of that Kickstarter. And it's going to be for the graphic novel, because I have the first 3 issues done, and the graphic novel is going to be the first 3 issues plus some side material and a couple extra pages that weren't in the books. There's because in the first issue I have him smoking a lot, and I dig that. I think that's, my mindset was, I grew up watching Bugs Bunny smoke, and never once have I ever picked up a cigarette, so there was no harm in it. But I think there's laws about cartoon characters and smoking that I'm like, I'm just not going to mess with it. So there are PSAs, about anti-smoking PSAs that I've done that'll be in the graphic novel in between the individual issues that weren't in the original issues, mostly for page count. I was trying to keep that page count low, because every page on an indie book really increases the how much I have to charge for the book, and I do want the prices to be like I feel dirty charging $10 for a 48-page comic or whatever. So I try to keep it down the price wise. I look at the $3.99s and I think $3.99 is the appropriate price tag for a comic, unless we're talking digital. It's $1.99. But the FLATFOOT McGEE is definitely it's a love letter to a lot of kooky, crazy kind of stuff, and it's one of the things that I really enjoy drawing and painting. Everything on the sketch covers are ink, because normally I do black and white, or I do watercolor, but with the sketch covers, because the watercolor can distort the covers, I tend to do ink that's pigmented ink, so it's ink with color, and you'll see that in a little bit. But right now everything's just a brush pen, and you have FLATFOOT McGEE, and I don't want to say his girlfriend, but a Betty Boop kind of knockoff called Brittany Starr. I kind of snagged the name from an old comic strip called Brenda Starr, who was about a reporter. They made a movie about her, the Brenda Starr comic strip. But I was doing more of a Betty Boop thing than what was the actual Brenda Starr comic strip. So, Britney Spears. There was a lot. I was very proud of the Betty Boop kind of thing. And if you've never read an issue of FLATFOOT McGEE, every issue is self-contained. So every issue, beginning, middle, and end, you don't need to have read the last, couple of issues to figure out what's going on. I like my comics to kind of be self-contained in that way. I was a big fan of Jonah Hex, early 2000s, because I could just pick up an issue and not have to worry necessarily about what happened in the previous issue. I mean, sometimes they did 2-parters and 3-parters, but not too often. Every issue was usually written by Jimmy Palmiotti but drawn by a different artist, and I just thought that was really cool. You can hear my voice is starting to go, because this is the third time I've had to, or not the third time, but I've been recording all day. But yeah, the sketch covers are going to be part of the upcoming Kickstarter. I've been preparing for this Kickstarter for a couple of years. I've had a successful Kickstarter in 2014, and then a couple of not so successful Kickstarters, but this is the one I've been really preparing for literally a couple of years. I have a year's worth of magnets and bookmarks and stuff that I've been kind of preparing for, and it's going to be multiple books, because you'll have the sketch books available, the first 3 issues of FLATFOOT McGEE, the graphic novel, as well as like bookmarks and magnets and posters, all that kind of fun stuff. And it's one of those things that I'm really proud of this character, and really proud of the books that I've made. The Duck Detective, and it's fun. It's a throwback in a lot of ways. It's a throwback to old animal comics, because they had what was called back in the day the Big Feet books, where the characters were just kind of goofy anthropomorphic characters. Now, I don't see FLATFOOT McGEE as anthropomorphic. Maybe dictionary definition. See him as a cartoon. He's not an animal with human animalistics. or animal human characteristics. He is a straight up cartoon character. This is 1940s, kind of animation era that I'm playing with. That classic studio animation, Betty Boop, Popeye, Woody Woodpecker. Those are the kinds of things that I'm drawing inspiration for from this book, as well as a darker noir tone from like the actual subject material. And I could spend the rest of my life writing and drawing this book. I really can. I love the other comics I've done. I love Mr. Cuddles, and I love everything I've done. But I can literally spend the rest of my life just drawing this character in these books, because of how fun they are, and just how nobody's doing kids books. They're gone. I mean, Marvel. I was really upset when on a television, like on the Spider-Man cartoon, they put Deadpool in the cartoon. I was like, now you have kids, and I've seen it, come up to me and ask for Deadpool sketches, and I was like, no, you don't know who this character is. You're too young. You might have been, if they're older or whatever, that's fine. But literally little kids asking for Deadpool sketches. It's like, am I going to do a Lady Death sketch, like, for this little girl? Or, I'm a firm believer that adult content should exist in comics, and I'm not trying to badmouth it, but there also needs to be stuff for kids. Because there's a reason why majority of comic book buyers are 35-year-old males. And it's because we haven't given the other demographics anything to read, in American comics. Manga pretty much has the female demographic. It's because they're writing interesting stories that appeal to not just girls, but like human interest stuff. Not everything's superheroes. Don't get me wrong, I love superheroes. But I don't see myself as an indie ever doing a superhero book, because when I put out my little indie Project X book, Captain X or whatever it is, it goes on the stands next to Superman. People are going to buy Superman. Superman wins every month. Superman wins. Batman wins. Spider-Man wins. So I'm not going to compete with them. I'm going to do my own thing, and I'm going after the detective market, the suspense, those old kind of pulp hero stuff, but aimed towards a younger audience. Tiny Toons did this. Looney Tunes did this. I'm not doing anything new. I'm just doing something that hasn't been done in a very long time. Duck Tracy, Donald Duck did it first. I forget the name of the short. It's like the piggy bank robbery or whatever. He literally called himself Duck Tracy. I'm just kind of taking that to a different level. And writing comedy is a lot harder. Visual gags it's one thing to just write pow, biff, bam, punches, action stuff, but it's like to try to make the fight scene flow and be funny, and it's a different kind of challenge, something I've never really dealt with, and I like being challenged, and FLATFOOT McGEE challenges me as an artist and a writer in ways that some of the other books I've done haven't. And I really do love the character, and I hope you'll enjoy him too. This is, when we get the Kickstarter going, I hope you'll check him out, or even, because the first issue is available now. You can buy the first issue from my website or my store. and all that's available right now. And so I do hope you check out FLATFOOT McGEE. And again, I'm not doing watercolor. I'm doing colored ink. Colored ink. This is what the cover is. It's all ink. And this sketch cover will be available as one of the tiers for the upcoming Kickstarter. Yeah, Brittany Stars is a more or less Betty Boop, but also a bit of a burlesque performer. In the second issue, To Catch a Rising Star, where she debuts, there's a whole fight sequence I'm really proud of. It takes place backstage, and you can see her silhouette stripping through the curtain. But you don't see anything. Like you don't see anything. It's literally no worse than some of the old Tex Avery cartoons where he'd have strip tease stuff. And again, these are the things that I was inspired by. Tex Avery, all that kind of crazy stuff. So, these are. Again, Bugs Bunny, all that kind of stuff. It's good. It's artistic in a way that some of the other things that I haven't gotten to play with, and I hope you will enjoy FLATFOOT McGEE as much as I've enjoyed creating them and writing them. I've done three full issues at this point, plus several shorts and a couple other fun things, and I'm gonna keep making them. I'm gonna, this is just one of the coolest things I've ever done, and I'm real proud of this character, and each book is hand painted watercolor, and it takes time to produce something that literally is a painting. Whereas, and I'm still kind of coming out on a fairly regular schedule, so it's been a trudge, and but I want to thank you for watching this video and supporting it. I hope you check out the links and the Patreon, which I've been revamping. Everything on my Patreon is public from now on, so when I post there, it's public. Everyone can see it. The idea is I just want people to throw $1 in the hat. That's it. Just throw $1 in the hat. That's all I'm asking for. And, hopefully with the way things work out, because I'm going to try to be doing more podcasts, more video stuff. Even though I'm getting ready to go back to work, hopefully be able to keep on this, and I want to thank you in advance for going on that ride with me. So, FLATFOOT McGEE available on my website store. You can also go into Diggers Comics and Collectibles off of Harvard Street in Hemet, Florida, and you can pick up the first issue there. Ambrose is nice enough to carry the first issue for me, and it's a great store, and you really should support it. If you're local here in Hemet. The future issues, I'm going to try to figure out how to get it on Comixology and play with the digital stuff. So try to make it available for everyone. No promises on that. I'm still trying to figure out how to do my computer stuff. But I got plans for FLATFOOT, and I appreciate you, and hopefully you'll stick this out with me. you know, the sketch covers again are going to be available as part of the Kickstarter, yeah, there's a lot coming with the Kickstarter. You know, we'll have the trade, as well as the first couple of issues, as well as you know, some pretty cool stuff. And I've been working on this for a long time. You know, I was able to land a really cool cover artist for some of the first couple of issues, and you know, I'm really proud of the work that we've done. So yeah. Please like, subscribe. Thank you for these videos, or thank you for, I hope if you've sat through all this rambling. Again, I apologize, I set the mic to the wrong thing and now I'm having to re-record everything. But thank you for your support. These, you know, I'm not the best with the tech. I'm an old school ink paint guy, kind of guy, but thank you. And I hope you have a great day. Hope you know, enjoyed this and think about throwing $1 in the hat for the Patreon. With that said, have a great day, and you know, smile.